Okay, so I'm going to be doing the Shades of Mort'ton quest, so that I can create a Serum 207 and level up my herb lore. So basically, the items are tinderbox, 20k gold, 2 ashes, 2 vials of water, 4 Taramin, 2 unfinished potions, which you get by combining ashes with a vial of water, 3 logs, stamina potion, some food, flam tear hammer. I bought on the GE. I just upped the price to 20k gold, even though it's 5k to get it. Any axe, flame tear bracelet, and a Mort'ton teleport. So to begin, obviously I'm going to teleport to Mort'ton, which I bought at the GE. So, okay. So I'm going to run south, I'm going to go in this building, and I'm going to search this shelf to get a diary. You find an interesting looking book on the shelf. Okay, so I'm going to right click and read the diary. Start the Shades of Mort'ton quest, yes. Page 11. Some local townsfolk are worried about the mists coming from the northeast. Ordered more fire logs from Razmir's shop. Must find a more reliable source of fire night. That money-grabbing Razmir didn't know what I was talking about. Had to explain that they were ashes. Herbs like Hairlander, Marentil, and Taramin in short supply. I'm hoping the latter will make Solution 194 the best yet. The remains of a primitive temple to the north have piqued my curiosity. Not much happening today, though the stench from the east increases. The people of Mort'ton seem very depressed. Noticed several townsfolk just staring blankly into the air. I'll keep further notes to aid my study the effects of the sanguineous region. Saradomin protect us. Temple is most likely early, pagan, and devoted to elemental power. The townsfolk are quite short in temper, and fight readily amongst themselves at the slightest provocation. I've been out on my assistant, Lyonish Steinfire. She's an able assistant, but preoccupied with her family life. How will she become a respected scholar in her own right? Temple was almost surely made of limestone bricks, and showed signs of heat damage in the center. Samples from Mort'ton appear inconclusive at the stage. More testing needed. Horror of horrors, the local tradesman Razmir has started charging higher prices for everyday consumables. How will we live? He blames the lack of trade from the temple, but I believe he just wishes to fleece us all before leaving the town. Some further experimentation has been inconclusive. First, test vials with Guam, not successful. Senethylene, processed with water, and Tyramine proving successful. Temple to the north is known to the locals as Flame Tear. Holds an interesting story. Local superstition talks about pagan rites and a sacred flame, which could hold for permanence. Was said to be involved in marriage ceremonies due to mystical aura. Also has reports of supernatural activity, with shadowy creatures being seen. Such utter nonsense. The mists from Mort'ton are getting worse, and the stagnation of the swamp is having an effect on the townspeople. Victims of the effect become vacant and unintelligible, though some words do seem familiar. Only a handful of people have succumbed, but more fall into the state on a daily basis. No known cure at the stage. Heard some further superstitious nonsense regarding a sacred flame where Flame Tear stood. A small breakthrough. A patient only slightly affected had a short recovery with Solution 194, but this lasted only a few minutes. Although a small step, this gives me hope that a cure can be found. This new solution might last longer with Flyer Night, but I must pack and leave soon before the affliction gets to me. It's too late. I already show the signs of the affliction. I'm saddened that my work will not reach the scientific community of Varrock. I like to have shown my work before my peers. Old Squire makes me laugh. He believes the pagan flame may still have power. Even with the strange affliction, I feel a quiet reserve that must write this quickly, as it's hard to concentrate. Solution 198 was a change to 194 with added snakeweed. This had little effect though. Solution 194 was still the strongest so far. Need to increase this effectiveness with further refinement of senethylene process and perhaps addition of other compounds. Possible last entry. Solution 194 revised to 207, which gives the longer term but still not permanent relief from the affliction. Old screenskip. Senethylene works best with added fire night, but lasts a short time. Agitation and warmth should seal this. This cursed affliction has some evil to it, a darkness I cannot fathom. Laughing at Old Squire before his suggestions may have been merit. Sees Ook Org splats fies resil. Okay, he's unintelligible. Index to solution: water, taramine, fire knight. Water plus taramine, fire knight plus water. Okay, now that I've read this, I'm able to make serum 207. So I'm going to right click and I'm going to use my ashes on my vial of water to make an unfinished potion, which you can buy at the GE. And now I'm going to right click on my taramine and I'm going to use it on the unfinished potion. And it's just going to auto do all of them. But I just leveled up, so I'm going to right click and make 2 more. Okay, so now that I have 4 serum 207s, I'm going to run north to the general store, the symbol of a pot. I'm going to open this door, and I'm going to right click, and I'm going to use the serum on Razmir. Ah, excellent. You made your own serum, and it seems to work well. Many thanks for using the serum on me, but beware, I may start to change back soon. So I'm going to say option 4. What are these shadowy creatures? Those disgusting entities are the filth that have ruined my life. They're the restless spirits of the dead who jealously guard their burial treasure, yet feed on the life force of the living. I've heard that they jealously guard their temple treasure, and that it's worth plundering. I need you to kill 5 shades and bring me the remains so that I can conduct some experiments. Will you do it? So I'll say option 1. Yes, I'll dispatch those dark and evil creatures. Great. That's what I wanted to hear. When you've done, bring back all the remains. I want to inspect them. Okay, so I'm going to run to the northeast and cross this bridge. And obviously I have the God Sword, the Bandos God Sword. It was 20.6 million gold. And the Dragon Plate body. The God Sword, it makes my cape flow a little bit, as you can see. Alright, so I switched to World 377 because otherwise the shades aren't here. So now I'm going to defeat 5 lore shades. With the God Sword, you could obviously use the special attack over here. I'm going to pick up the lore remains as I defeat them. I need to defeat 2 more. Looks like there are quite a few people doing this quest. Alright, now that I collected 5 lore remains here, I can run back to the general store. I'm going to talk with Razmir Keegan. And he's afflicted again once more. So I'm going to right click, I'm going to use the serum 207 on him. Ah, it's you. How's it going? Hey, have you killed the 5 shades yet? Yes, I have actually. Razmir takes 2 shade remains. Great. I'll experiment on these. I think that Osquar might be seeing the shade remains. If you take some over to him, he could possibly give you some extra information about them. Now that you've slayed some of those nasty shades, I feel motivated to help you out. I could trade with you now, if you like. So I'm going to say, can I see the building store? I'm going to buy... I'm going to buy 5 timber beans. I'm going to buy 25 swamp paste. And I'm going to buy 5 limestone brick. So at this point, you don't need your food anymore. So you could eat your food. So go to builder's store. I'm going to buy 5 limestone brick. I'm going to equip my flame tear bracelet. Drop my combat bracelet. I'm going to drop one of my serums. And then I'm going to go to the builder's store. Buy 1 more limestone brick. And then I'm going to close out, right click, go to the general store, and buy 1 olive oil. Alright, so now that I set that all up, I'm going to run over to the temple at the top right. And I'm going to repair this wall up until sanctity 10%. And you're not sure how you go about fixing this. What? Oh, okay. Okay, so now that I purchased, let me move this around. Now that I bought 25 spawn paste, 5 timber beams, and 5 limestone brick, I'm going to run over to the water symbol store right here. And I'm going to use a serum 207 on Olsquire. So right click, use the serum 207, and then click on Olsquire. Ah, excellent. You made your own serum, and it seems to work well. Many thanks for using the serum on me, but beware, I may start to change back soon. Razmir said to come and talk to you. Oh yes, well, that's very nice. I just slayed 5 shades for Razmir. He said you might be interested in some shade remains. Oh yes, that's very interesting. You show the shade remains to the priest. He wanders off to study the bones. So now I'm going to speak with him again, and I'm going to select option 1, 2, 3, and 4, all of them, one by one. Ah, hello again. What can I do for you now? So I'm going to say, what did you find out about the remains? The shade remains are made of a strange substance, which I've not come across before. I believe we should put these tormented spirits to rest. How can we do that? You can't even bury the remains. Quite right. I was thinking that a holy cremation would do the trick, but the funeral piles need specifically prepared pyre logs. Normal logs have been treated with sacred oil to give it a nice holy touch. How would I make some sacred oil? You won't. It's a pagan secret lost a long time ago. Normally I would try to bless some commonly found vegetable oil, but I'm so weak from this illness that I know I just won't be able to do it. Huh. I used to joke with Irby Flax that if Flame Terror Temple was standing, we could practice some ancient pagan rituals and incite the sacred flame. Huh. I'm not surprised that he never took me seriously. So I'm going to say, what can you tell me about that temple? Interesting question. It is an ancient pagan temple, referred to as Flame Terror. I studied it quite a lot. One day, I was hoping to rebuild it. Who knows what ancient power it could unleash? How can you rebuild a totally destroyed temple? I couldn't do it alone. I need a few expert artisans to help with the construction. I'd also need a good supply of limestone bricks, swamp paste, and timber beams. Thankfully, Razmir stocks all these items high. Do you know how I could make the serum permanent? The serum is a product of science. Irby was a clever man to have made it, but he didn't integrate anything from the spiritual world into his work. And for all of his hard science, there is still something missing. So you don't know then. I'm a man of faith, that's all I know. Sometimes I feel that we should experiment with the sacred and the holy, just like this crude matter we find about us every day. So I'm going to say, what should I do now? That's up to you, my friend. I once heard someone say that making your own decisions is the only real freedom you have. Exercise your freedom, my friend, while you still can. So, I'm done here. I'm going to leave this door, and I'm going to go repair this temple to the top right. So now I'm going to click on any wall inside this building. And I'm going to wait till repair state's at 100%. and Sanctity is at 10%, at which point I will use the olive oil on the Flaming Fire Altar. Obviously, since I have the Flame Tear Hammer, it repairs much quicker. So Sanctity is already at 11%, so I'm going to right click and I'm going to use the olive oil on the Flaming Fire Altar, which makes a Sacred Oil. I'm going to click on the wall and continue repairing until Sanctity 20%. Alright, so now that I'm at Sanctity 23%, I'm going to use the Serum 207 on the Flaming Fire Altar. Right click. And it make a Serum 208. So now I'm going to cross here, and I'm going to run south. Alright, so right here on the map, I'm going to right click. I'm going to use lower remain. Well, I'm going to right click. I'm going to use the Sacred Oil on any log. I'm going to right click. I'm going to use the pyre logs on the funeral pyre. On the funeral pyre, I'm going to right click and use the lower remains on the funeral pyre. And then I'm going to right click and use the tinderbox on the funeral pyre. Alright, so it gives you a bronze key, which you don't need, so you're done here. And now you're basically going to run up and speak with Old Squire to complete your quest. Old Squire is right here. So now you're just going to run and speak with Old Squire in the building and use another serum on him to complete your quest. So I'm going to right click, I'm going to use Serum 208. And right click and use it on Old Squire. Well done. I feel this serum is really working on me. I think you've cracked it, my friend. I'd like to give you something for your trouble. Old Squire gives you 203 coins. Ah, hello again. What can I do for you now? I've put the Shade Spirit to rest. Great. Well done, my friend. Congratulations. You have completed Shades of Mort'ton. 3 quest points, 2,000 crafting XP, 2,000 herb lore XP. Okay, so now I'm going to right click and teleport over to the Cooking Guild with my skills necklace, which is right next to the GE. And I'm going to show you real quickly how to make the new potions to level your herb lore EXP. This is your herb lore skill. You obviously already had to have done Druidic Ritual, Jungle Potion, and Dig Site to level your herb lore. That was a super easy quest. Never delivering that diary. That's the dumbest thing ever. Okay. So basically, now that you completed that quest, you're able to make Serum 207 to level your herb lore, as long as your herb lore is at level 15 if you did Druidic Ritual and Jungle Potion. So I'm going to withdraw 10 Taramin, and I'm going to withdraw 10 Unfinished Potions, which I bought from the GE. I'm going to arrange them like so, similar to if you're joining the Woodcutters Guild. I'm going to withdraw 5 more Taramin. I'm going to deposit 1 Taramin, and I'm going to withdraw more Unfinished Potion. Okay, so now I'm going to open up here, I'm going to right click, I'm going to use the Taramin on the Unfinished Potions, and it's just going to auto do all of them and just keep loading up your herb lore until you level, at which point you need to right click and use it again. And this is just me leveling my herb lore super fast so that I can make my own prayer potions. And then obviously before depositing it, you're going to withdraw one of them, and then you're going to deposit them, and then you're going to withdraw this, and then you could do it again. Makes sense, right? So you could do it super fast. so make sure you withdraw before you deposit. Alright, well, now I'm gonna bot level my Herblore to 50 so that I could do the Kingdom Divided quest and fight the Judge of Yama.